Yes, sir, it's visible, sir.
Okay, fine. So from here, I'm starting the whole introduction of what we are going to do in the today's talk. We will be discussing on different techniques for the laboratories, which will help the faculty as well as the student for their teaching as well as for the research purpose. So if we talk about, first of all, the journey with the Copbayla, we are associated with Copbayla from past 2009 onwards, from where we have started one workshop. And yes, they have one project and they have procured the Power Lab system. The Power Lab system is a basic system for the data acquisition. At that time, they have procured in 2009. 11 years back they have procured. So as of now, if we see, we have 11 years of togetherness and 11 years of journey with Copbayla. So more than 10 research papers are already being published by Dr. Kushwaha and by Copbayla by using this facility of Power Lab and their laboratories. Recently, they have upgraded their lab. They have added some equipment in the Model project in 2020, but due to COVID, it will be installed in 2021. And we have already done some two workshops on the lab techniques with Copbayla in the past 11 years. So this is basically about our journey with Copbayla, that they have a lab from 2019 and they are doing research on it and they are using it. It's not only the procurement of the product, they are using and they are doing research on it and they have published paper on it. And from past 11 years, the same system they are using, and after 11 years, they are now upgrading the system. So you can see how flexible and how useful this product is. Like from past 11 years, they didn't face any problem by using it. The equipment is still working. We have changed the models, but still our old models are also working. So this is the flexibility and the durability of our products. So in today's talk, what I have segmented into the 3 parts. The part 1 will be the introduction to the LTE platform, which will be a teaching platform. Basically, teaching platform is for the educators if they want to make their innovative lectures. So we will provide them a LTE platform in which they can create their innovative lectures, innovative laboratories. They can make in this LTE platform. After that, the platform discussion, we will give you a small demonstration of what the platform will look like, how the platform look like. Then in the second part, we will be working on, we will be talking on advanced technique for the lab, for the research and teaching, where we will be discussing of the techniques and the equipment which is used for the laboratory research, as well as for the teaching the students for their experiment. Then we will be doing a demonstration of the software and the hardware, where I will show you how the signals will look like and how you can do the analysis for the different signals and how the acquisition of the signals. Due to we don't have the animal facility in our office, so I will be showing just photographs of the equipment, but yes, with the signals, I will be demonstrating you the whole signals which we have acquired in the previous time before the COVID time. And part 3, we will be in a Q&A session. So whatever queries you have, whatever doubts you have, we can talk in this Q&A section. Meanwhile, if you have some queries, you can put in a chat box and we can take while going through the presentation. And if you find that I'm going fast, so just let me know so that I can slow down my pace. So from here, I'll just start with introduction of the LTE platform. Before that, I'll just give you a simple, brief introduction for the ADInstrument. ADInstrument is serving globally from past 30 years. So we are the globally we have a global offices from past 30 years, and we are in the association of different researchers, educators for their research from past 30 years in the different universities in abroad as well as in India. So what our motto is always to making science easier. So earlier, this Michael McKnight, he is our the managing director of the company, and it was his project. It was his project of making a data acquisition system for his father, who is a physiologist. When his father used to take classes in 30 years back, he told his son that we face some problem while giving the innovative lectures to the student. So at that particular time, this science has came and this lecture has came with us. So So this equipment comes in the market, and after serving to his father physiology, then they decide that this will definitely help to the society, and we have launched this product. So basically, what our main motto is: making science easier. We want to make the life of the researcher very easy, and what the research they are going to do is making that research easy. If you are teaching to the students, we want the teaching should be easy and more fruitful for the students. So that is our basic motto of ADInstruments, and we are serving from past 30 years globally, and we have different offices in different regions. So as I told you that we are moving towards the LTE platform, which I'm going to discuss. So before that, I'm just giving you the brief idea for the step towards the active learning. As we see that during the change of a time and with the change of our techniques and the change of our teaching methods, we are more want to divert ourselves towards the active learning. What this active learning comes with, can be a flipped classroom. People are using this already, flipped classroom. People are using blending learning. People are using classroom learnings and e-learning. So combination of all this learning, where we are using a classroom programs, we are using some e-programs, we are using a flipped classroom, we have a group discussions, we are discussing, doing the practicals in groups. So all this learning involves the students in the active learning, and this LT platform will take one step towards the active learning. And these techniques are already being used by the few of the universities and the colleges. But due to the COVID time, we have also faced that many of us are still, we have started using the e-platform for teaching, teaching, and we have moved towards the e-platform. But again, now the situation are getting normal these days. So we are again for coming to the normal classes. But still, we came to know what is the importance of e-learning. If e-learning is also be the solution, definitely more learning, more student accessibility to the content will be available to the students. So these were some traditional classroom and lab, we can say, benefits to the student, where there is a limited time because we have a college facility for particular some time. So the facility is available to the student for particular time. It is time consuming, need physically present. If the student missed the class, he has missed the lecture. So likewise, there was some traditional classroom. So these all survey we have done due to this COVID situation, that we talked to some of the faculties, and we come up with some points, and I have highlighted in this presentation. Whereas we asked for the virtual labs, what are the benefits for them for the virtual labs? Like it becomes anytime, anywhere lab. So like if the material is available on internet, or if the material is available on cloud, so we can access it anytime. Even we can access, if nowadays everyone have mobile phones. If the student have a laptop, if they have internet connection, if they have a mobile phone, so they can simply access that content anywhere, and they can connect through their PC, their laptops, their tablet. They develop a self-learning mode. So student will also come into the self-learning mode. They are also becoming innovative to make their self-understand the different concepts, and they are involving them more and more into the self-learning. Then innovative experiments, like will be the innovative methods in the online. There will be a drag and drop, there will be video, there will be audio. There are mix and matching of the things which are available for the virtual labs. And these labs and lectures are available for the students 24/7. So whenever the student want to study, they can open or they log into their portal and just study those portal. And for the faculty members, yes, it will be very difficult for us, because from past so many years, we are using a traditional classroom, and just simply for a 1 year, due to this pandemic situation, we have switched to the e-learning. It become the difficult for the students. It become the difficult for the faculty members also to explain the concepts. It become the for the student to get adapt to it. But yes, by this pandemic situation, by e-learning, but we came to know, yes, e-learning can also be one of the platform. If we add to our traditional classroom some percentage of classes, or some percentage of the material on the e-platform, definitely it will help us and help the students for their learning. So this is some methods in which we can teach remotely and keep student engaged, because the main drawback of teaching online is to make students available. Like right now, I am presenting my details to you. I'm presenting the data, or I'm presenting some techniques to you. We have a number of participants over here, where we don't know how many participants are engaged into it, right? Similar way, when we are teaching, we are not know that how many students are getting engaged into it, how many students are getting learn, like how many students are getting understanding what I am speaking, what I am want to present or deliver to the students. It is getting delivered to the student or not. So yes, so there are some points. Again, we have a discussion with the faculty members, and we had some points to how to make a teach remotely and student engaged. So these are the points came to us. Like set realistic expectation for yourself. Like we should be realistic. Like if we have to, if we are the students, right? If I can say, put yourself in a student's shoes. So if we are the student, we have to know that this will be, because we should know that how the student will react, how the student will understand. So we have to make more realistic environment, and we should think how the student will react and how the student will get to know, and is be understandable by the student or not. By this we can definitely see increase the productivity while teaching remotely. Then making more lessons interactive. Once, if it will be whole theory, the student will feel sleepy, or maybe the student lose interest while learning. But yes, if we make us lesson interactive means if we two-way, like if we have explained some concept and we ask some question, it became interactive. The student has to answer that question. If we have some pictures to drag and drop to label the diagram. So there are the different techniques where we can see, like we can improve while teaching remotely, and we can make more and more engagement of the students while learning. We can link the resources. Like currently, if I can't tell you everything, so what I'll do, I'll link some resources. Then resources will help you to make understand and to increase your more knowledge. So this likewise we can move towards the remote, add more to the remote access for making it more very like understandable and deliverable to the students. Then during this this initiative has been in this pandemic situation. Earlier also MHRD has different prospects to making the different to make collaborate more and more laboratories and more college together. But during this pandemic also some initiative has been taken by the government of the Ministry of HRD ministry. What their objective was to provide the remote access to the labs in the various disciplines of science, pharmacology, engineering, and etc. Like if you have a laboratory, like if Copbayla have a laboratory of this power lab, so why not if some institute they don't have that facility and they don't have that much of money, right? So why don't we connect the Copbayla with that institute, so that institute researcher will also understand what is the importance of this equipment, how this equipment will work, to make them more learn. So we can have a remote access to the laboratories. Then they asked for making e-pathshalas. E-pathshalas, like ask the faculty members to promote their lectures and put in e-pathshala. So if someone have to study some concepts in those e-pathshalas, he can go and just log in and see that this particular topic is explained by this particular faculty. So e-pathshalas has also came, and to make more curiosity in the student for the experiment. Although in this pandemic situation, students were not available in the laboratories, they were not able to come for the experiment, especially for the first year or maybe the first year students who were not came to the college, but they were doing only online. They have not seen the equipment. So they are making a curiosity for the students how the experiment to be done. So they are making a sign of simulation for the students. So that this was an initiative taken by the government MHRD. So by this, all the discussion, what the active learning is, how we can do the active learning. So this platform, our LT platform, it comes to the picture and we say it's a virtual lab concept. It can be a lab concept or it can be your lecture concept. It is an innovative tool. By slide, I will be explaining you how it can help you in understanding and to making your more lectures innovative. So here in picture we comes the LT after the discussion, what we did. So I'll just share it again. So it is a small video.
LT is our
which will explain you what the LT is. So this is a small video for this.
easy to use online learning platform for life sciences, nursing, and medical courses.
Is the video voice is audible? Can you hear the video?
Create an active learning environment which increases student engagement with more than 360 interactive and fully customizable lessons. With LT, you can tailor content to suit your course and students' needs. Easily edit, share, and update our content, or create your own in real time. There's minimal IT setup involved, so you can start using LT straight away. LT is the only online learning platform with real-life data acquisition. Your students can record their own biological signals directly into LT using our Power Lab hardware, giving them a deeper understanding of core scientific concepts. LT is designed to teach the way you want to. Want to try LT? Go to our website and select your teaching area to try LT now.
So for this signing up for the LT, I'll just say we give you a 1-month trial version. If after completing my LT presentation and the demonstration, if you feel so that you want to create your own lessons or you want to create some innovative tools, definitely you can go for the 1-month free trial version. I will show you how you can get the 1-month free trial version for the LT platform, to use it, to explore it, what platform is look like, how it can be useful for the students, and how can be useful for your university as well as for your college. So this was a basic introduction for the LT, where we have shown that how LT is used for the customizable and everything. Now, what LT is basically, I'll explain you what the LT is. LT is basically a cloud-based platform. Like you have a Gmail account, you have a Yahoo account, you have a Rediff account. Similar way, this is a cloud-based platform where you can save the data into the cloud and easily accessible from anywhere if you have an internet connectivity. So this is basically a cloud-based platform. Similar way, you have your Gmail account, you have your Yahoo account. Similar way, this is your cloud-based platform. You will have your account and you can simply log in from your mobile, your tablets, or your, if we can say, you can from your laptops. So this is basically a cloud-based platform. After that, we have a content library with this. So what this content library is, we have already created some content for the different segment like physiology, pharmacology, animal physiology, pharmacology, exercise physiology, neurology, so biology. So we have created different content. These contents are created by the keeping things in a global form, because earlier from past 3 to 4 years, it has already been launched in different countries. But in India, we have launched due to this pandemic situation where the people are coming to the online platform. So the content which we have created, we have that created by the Western universities. So you can, these all content are customizable content. So if you want to customize those content can be customized. If you want to create your own content, definitely you can make your own content as well. So these are some segments where we have already created content like human physiology, preclinical medicine, nursing, exercise physiology, animal physiology, neuroscience, pharmacology, biology, anatomy, psychology. So there are the different segments which we have already created some contents. So if you want to create your own content, you can simply create your own content, because the tools which we are going to provide you, it will be available for you for LT, and you can make your own content as well. Or if you want to do some modification, like if you are need some content from animal physiology or maybe from pharmacology, but you need to do some modification into the content, so definitely you can do the modification in that particular content. So if I am saying again and again, the modification in the content, it comes with the authoring. So basically what the authoring is basically that it allows you to author, it allows you to write, it allows you to edit. So we give you the option of authoring. This authorization, this authoring can be done by using a drag and drop, including videos. You want to add your videos, you want to add audios, you want to add images, you want to add quizzes. So directly you can club and you can come to this portal and you can add this videos. Like if you want to record your own video lecture, so you can simply record your own video lecture. If you want to explain some concept in your voice, audio, so you can record your audio and put this audio into this lecture. So likewise, you can create your own lesson by using the authoring part in LT. Then there are the panels which can be used, that is a multimedia panel, in which it gives you a video as well as audio files to make your lessons more richer. Like if if we see some video or some audio, definitely we increase like our interest. We see the interest is become more, and understanding of the concept become more by seeing the video, or by just simply reading something. If we see some video or audio, definitely it will help us. So by multimedia channel, we can have our images, we can have, we can add the images, we can add videos, we can add audios by using this multimedia panel. After that, there is an interactive question and answers. So this is the main part which the faculty will like it, like interactive question and answers. So what is, like, you are teaching, and again and again you are teaching one concept, but you don't know how much concept is taken or adapted by these students. So you must ask, definitely in class also, you just teach some lectures, and after that you take a class test, or you just ask the students some questions, randomly you ask some questions. So likewise, what you can do is you can add some interactive question and answers, right? You can put some interactive question and answer where it includes drag and drop. You can simply drag and drop, or they may diagram, you can label the diagram, or multiple choice question. So you can put these questions in between your lectures as well. You can ask students to provide give you the answers. Then there is an option of a grading. Like if you have asked the student questions, so if you want to grade it, you want to do the grading. So grading can also be done by using this software. Nothing has to be done by you. The software will automatically do the grading for you. If it is a multiple choice question or a drag and drop, if it is theoretical questions, like if you have a 10 set of questions, in 10 set of questions, you have asked 6 multiple choice questions and 4 other theoretical questions. So software will also allow to grade 6 your MCQ questions, and those 4 theoretical questions you can go and check and give the grading, and at the end whole grading will add to one result. So all the questions, like which are the automatically graded or which you have graded, will come in a one format. So on the same platform you can grade the student for the different questions. Then there is an option of a staff management. So whenever you are doing creating some lessons or some topics, so you can have a staff management, like this staff will particularly teach this lesson, this staff will particularly teach this lesson, or this staff will take this particular lection. Say maybe you can divide by the different sections, like this faculty will say, X faculty will say take the lectures from A section. So likewise, you can make a staff management. some faculty, if you want to make that they will take a test from the students, or they will be allowed to do the authoring. So likewise, you can do the staff management. Then student management, definitely, if there are the number of students, you can have a group wise or section wise, you can take the student and you can segregate the student accordingly. Then there is a student progress dashboard. What is this dashboard is? This is basically a dashboard which will show you the student progress, how the student are performing. If you have invited 10 students, if you have seen on the left hand side of my screen, that I have invited 4 students, only one have accepted in the top image. So it is showing me only one has accepted it. After that, student accepted 4 out of 4. So the student have accepted 4 out of 4. So this is showing me the progress that this student has performed this chapter. They have submitted the chapter or not. They have started the chapter. So this all progress dashboard can also be seen by the faculty members online. Then there is an option of time availability. So if you want to allow the student to see the chapters maybe in an hour or 2, or if you want to take a test of a student, which is a time bounding, like 2 hours, 3 hours, so you can put the times and time into it, and it can be a time availability option. Then analytics will show you the analytics of the student, how much time the student have performed on what chapter, what are the analytics of the whole chapter which you have created. This is analytics. Then this is some patient case library which we have created, and this is now recently we are launching the LT sensors for the different physiological signals, which will help the students for their when they are coming to the laboratories, they can directly connect the sensors to the laptops and record the signals. So likewise, we have the LTE platform. The LTE platform, what was that? It's a cloud-based platform. The cloud-based platform which allows you to log in from anywhere, anytime, and you can simply edit your chapters, edit your lessons, edit your laboratories, and make available to the students. You can see what the student is performing, what the student had done. You can have a option for making the interactive question and answers. So this is basically a LTE platform. So as I told you in the starting that it already been accepted by the different countries from past 3 years. So this is some feedback from the faculty members, which I'm sharing with you. So he is a head in Australia University. So let's hear her.
Hi, my name is Nandu Goswami. I'm an associate professor and the head of the Institute of Physiology at the Medical University of Graz. I came to know about AdInstruments at the Physiological Society of South Africa meeting in 2014, where I was really impressed with what ADInstruments were doing and the fact that they have been quite over the years a lot used by students. So I was really excited to bring this over to Graz. And I can really say that it's been a great experience. At Graz, the university has been very receptive to having these machines. So we have now 4 power labs, and students have found this experience very nice, very much hands-on, which is exactly what we encourage. But again, my principle, as I think with most of the teachers of today, is that the students should learn not just all about it's not all just about studies, but also learning a lot about research. And by combining research with studies, the students really get a good idea or a good feel or hands-on approach or experience research firsthand themselves. That's why I think Power Labs are really very supportive for the students. And it's much better than frontal teaching where the students just do their own thing. And here is a lot of room for pre-learning as well to be tested and also to carry out these experiments and these practical aspects themselves. You know, for me, it is important that the students are actively engaged in the learning process. It's no point just we teaching and the students taking notes, and half of them are busy with their own, which is what most of us do when we are just having a non-interactive kind of learning. But when people do it hands-on, this is what I learned also in my Masters of Medical Education course, which I did, in that the more you do in work in small groups, you also not only have team building, but you can also have friends you can depend on. You can also have a software that will help you. You have a tutor, of course, that can also guide you. But at the end of the day, the onus is on you, the student, to learn. And I think the students find that particularly exciting.
So basically, this was one of the story from our client who is in Austria. So he is in head of Department of Physiology over there. So likewise, we have many success stories which are available on our website on ADInstruments.com. You can simply go to the ADInstruments.com and see the success people stories. So you will find the different researchers have shared their experience on the different applications and how it helped ADInstrument solution help them in their research as well as in the teaching. So this was the feedback from one of our customer. I'll just take you directly to the LTE platform. So simply you can have a PuraCloud.com. This, if you have a PuraCloud.com, you can simply log in. You can just type PuraCloud.com like it's a Gmail account. Here is your Pura Cloud account. You can simply log into your account. So simply when you log in to your account, your account will be like this, plain platform. Then here you can simply add courses. You click on this courses, there's a plus sign. You can name a course like Copbayla. I'll just say workshop. I'll just create. So course name on Copbayla has been created on this platform, LTE platform. So this is a content library. What is this content library? The content which we have already created, right? So the content which we have already created, it is the content. If I'll just simply check for the, if I'll just take any of the experiment content over here. If I'll go for the animal physiology, maybe. I'll just import one lesson of male heart. So this importing will say that my lesson is getting imported into this platform, into this LT. So this can be imported. If you want to import all the collections, you can simply import it. It shows it imported. If I click on this lessons, so this lessons show me two things. One is mammalian heart and one is mammalian heart pre-lab preparation. So pre-lab preparation is basically when we are coming to our laboratories, we know what we are going to perform is. It's basically that thing. If we click on directly on the lab, I'll click open. So this experiment will show me what we are going to perform, what we are going to study in this. So this is a learning objective, what we are going to perform in this particular experiment. And there is an option of a book. If you click on the book, this shows you the background. It gives you the theory. Like if the student want to study, it can see what theory is behind this experiment. Again, if they want to go back to the lesson, they can simply click that book button. And after that, if you see some questions has been asked, if I randomly choose what are the activities, so I'll just check my answer. So it will show me what are my correct answers, what are my wrong answers. So you can randomly, you can ask the questions from the students and they can check their answer. If you allow them to check their answer, they can check. If they don't want, you don't allow them to check their answer, you can check. So if randomly I'm doing this like demo COB, they are asking some questions. So I'm just putting a demo this. Then after that, there is a video of a setup. Like if you have a required setup, there is a video. So student can simply see this video and attach the hardware part, that how the hardware is need to be attached. So they can simply see, and same what as shown in the video is written over here. It's setting up a force transducer. Next, they showed us how the force transducer will be set up, like how the calibration need to be done, like how it will be calculated, how to adjust the ports. So this is all step-by-step instructions are given in this video as well as in the audio. And they are showing that zero position, procedure, how to do the zeroing of the bridge port. So this is after the calibration, some pre-recorded data is given, right? It is kind of a pre-recorded data. This is a pre-recorded data which is already given, so that student can see what data should look like, how the data can come. Like in the UG, we know that they can't do the animal experiments. So what we can do is, what our PGs or our PhDs have already recorded the data, we can show the student, or what we have done in our research work, we can simply import and show the student that this data will look like this. But to showing the student, it is something beyond that, because if you see, it is also teaching the student to get some values. So they are giving the markers to the student. So student is physically present, and if some question are asked to get this value, so their ranges are also given. So they can use this tools to answer these questions and the calibration procedure. So everything is done by the student as well. Only the data is available to the student. So student can play with data and do analysis with this particular of data. So this data is available to the student. Then again, a hard dissection for the language of preparation is shown to them. Then there is an effect. What are the effect of the different drugs? So this is again a data. So if you want to see what is effect of different drugs, so we can simply see. So here we have imposed a drug, and now our signals have increased, like heart rate have increased. Right after we have put in the drug, our heart rate as in a force has increased. So likewise, we can ask at what particular point, what was the value of the heart rate. We can ask student a question, what will be the value of heart rate when the drug was imposed. So he can simply answer those questions. With this, at the end of this experiment, then there will be a form of a report. View and commit, if I will say, it will be in a form of a report. A report will come in a form that this was a question which was asked by the student. The student have answered. This was the data. What the data he have analyzed. What according to data, what answers he has given. So this is accordingly this data, right? This report will generate, and this report can simply be downloadable for the student. If student want to download, and they can simply click on commit. So after clicking the commit, their lessons will be completed. At this time, when this is completed, there is an option of edit. So if I click on edit, I click on panel. So there are the different panels which are available for me for editing the data. Like this is a text. So this is one lesson which I am editing. This is one lesson which I am editing which is already being made. So if you want to make a new lesson, you can simply make a new lesson by using a new slides. So I am just editing the already created data. So this, if I don't need this theory, I just simply delete it. I have deleted. I use a panel on text. I kept over here. I can simply type whatever I want to type. Right. Even if I want to copy paste, I can copy paste from somewhere. I can paste the images what I want to make the images. If I want to put a table, I can choose a table. Then there's an option of questionnaire. So different pattern of questionnaire you can ask. Simply a text questions. So if I'll say, what is ECG? If I simply say, what is ECG? Right. So student can simply they can answer the question, what is ECG, right? If I want to do the assessment, like I want to grade this or instant feedback, I want to give the feedback to the student, what they have done is correct or not. They can check the answer. So I can give an instant feedback. If I want to make it graded, so I can grade as well. So this is a panel where I can have a multiple questions, where I have a multiple choice questions, where I can be put the multiple choice questions as well. After that, there is an option of multimedia, right? So multimedia is where you can see the videos as well as the audios, right? So you can put the videos as well as the audios for that. You can simply add the video and you can simply import it. If you want to add audio, you can simply add the audio as well. So likewise, you can do the editing into it. You can want to like if I talk about Copbayla already have ADInstruments, so they have already recorded files. So they can simply import those recorded files to show the students that what they have recorded and what the experiment they have done. They want to show to the student. They can simply do that. So this is for the editing part of this platform. If I'll go back, I'll just close this lesson. Once this lesson is closed, this is saved. Then there is an option of a student's account. You can simply add, if you click on the student account, you can simply import the student. You can have a list of students in an Excel format. You can simply import the students. Or if you want to add individually, you can simply add individually to the add students. Then there is an option of a staff account. So if you want to add different staffs, you can simply add their email ID and their name, their role. You can simply invite those faculty members as well. So this is basically about the LTE platform, where you can create your lessons. It asks you a new lesson. You can create a new lesson, right? If you want to not want to make a new lesson, you can use the preloaded lessons which we have already created. So likewise, you can add the student, and you can want to do the grading. You can do the grading, and if you want to see the analytics of the student, you can simply see the analytics of the student, how the students will look like. So like this was analytics, like this quiz we have given on 7th April 2020. So these are the students have done, how many lessons are there, how many students are this, their progress is shown. So that this student have started, this student has completed, and this student is again in process. So likewise, we have the different analytics which help the faculty members to see what the student has performed. So this is basically about the LTE platform. So is it any query related to LTE platform? Is it any questions for the LTE platform? You can check the chat box. There's a question, please share the software name or an app. Basically, this is a LTE platform. So this is the software name, name is LTE. So we don't have an app for it. It is a cloud-based, like you have a Gmail account, right? So similarly, you go on Google and type puracloud.com and you can simply log in, right? So before moving forward, I'll just show on the ADInstrument website as well. So this is our basically website ADInstrument. So at the left hand side corner, you can simply click on the LT. So this page will appear. Then you can ask for the free trial. It will ask for your details and your free trial will be started, right? So this is some videos which we have also given to understanding the people how this LT will work. So simply you go on ADInstrument website, click LT, and you can ask for the free trial. So it will be free trial. After your ID will be created, simply you have to type a puracloud.com, right? Definitely when you show your interest, so some representative will help you for creating your ID and helping you to demonstrating how the software works. So this is how you can go for the ADInstruments and you can create your own ID. This is a 1 month free trial version. You can try on your own and you can see how it can be helpful for you. So there is any other question? Okay. So I'm moving towards the next part, the first part which I have completed, which was the LTE platform, cloud-based platform, which is totally for the teaching purpose. Now we are moving towards a step ahead for the teaching as well as for the research. So we as an ADInstruments, we work on the different applications. We work for the both human and the animal. The same hardware and the same software can be used for the animals as well as for the human research and the teaching. But the only thing is you need a different transducers for it, right? So we work on the different applications for the human. If we talk about cardiovascular, exercise, respiratory, autonomic, sleep, speech analysis, psychophysiology, neurology, right? So if we talk about the in vitro and the vitro, so we have isolated organ bath, we have an electrophysiology. And if we for talk about the animal teaching and research, so we work on the tissue and the circulation, we work on sleep, neurophysiology, autonomic telemetry, and the cardiovascular. So there are the different segments and the different applications in which ADInstrument work. Simply one power lab and one lab chart software with different accessories fulfill the different applications. So one power lab and one lab chart and accessories according to your application can be added to this hardware so that you can easily do your research work or maybe the teaching. This can be the Power Lab. So what is basically Power Lab? I'll give you a very brief introduction. What is Power Lab? Power Lab is basically a data acquisition system. Data acquisition means it acquiring the data. It simply acquire the data, acquire the signal and give the signal to the software. So this signal can be from anywhere. It can be from the animals or it can be from the humans. So what this data acquisition will do, it will convert one form of energy to the another form of energy, and that form of energy will be converted and the data will be displayed in the software known as a lab chart software. So how did it do it? We take an input, it amplifies, it filters, and it displays the data. And this data is displayed, and you can do the it is acquired, and you can do the analysis as per your requirement. So according to your research systems, we have a different applications and the different amplifiers. We have a different amplifiers. So like we have a research system, we have a different power lab, like 8 channel, 16 channel. We have a different signal conditioners, specialized equipment, transducers and accessories. So we have a different amplifiers and different number of channels power lab with it. It totally depends on your application and your requirement. We add the different signal conditioners. So I just named few of the categories of signal conditioners we have. We have a biopotential signal conditioners. Biopotential basically for ECG, EMG, EOG, EEG in human and animal, some pressure force, flow volume, stimulus response, galvanic skin response, respiration, gas analyzer, chemistry, biochemistry. In chemistry, we offers a glucose, pH recorder, dissolved oxygen, and conductivity amplifiers as well as the transducers. Then we have a different type of stimulators which help you to stimulate the animal as well as for the human subject. So this is are the part of the hardware, whereas we talk about the analysis of the modules. So we have a different analysis modules, like we have a dose response metabolic module, we have a blood pressure module, we have a spike histogram, ECG analysis, cardiac output, heart rate variability, video capturing, peak analysis, DMT normalization, PV loop. So these are some automatic analysis modules which help the researchers as well as the students to understand that what they did, they just simply record the signal and analysis is done by the software and the itself, right? So video capture is another module which help the researcher very much when they are doing research. The video capture allows you to record the video what you have done, so it became more authentication of your data. Like at this particular of time you have recorded the data, the video has been recorded, and your data is there, your subject was there, so to make it more authentic. And if you want to see what are the changes coming during the signals, it is any change in the subject also, you can definitely see it. So if we talk about the animal research, where we will focus more to core application, what is cardiovascular and what is next is CNS. So if we talk about animal studies, we have an in vivo, in vitro. In vivo studies, we have invasive techniques, we have a non-invasive techniques. In vitro, we have a cell tissue organ baths. So this is some animal experiment bifurcation we have done on the basis of equipment which are available with us. So firstly, if you see, this is for the biopotential measurement, we have ECG, EEG, EOG, EMG. Simply a bioamplifier is required with the power lab system. So you connect the needle electrode negative positive as ground to the rodent, and you can simply record the ECG. And once you have recorded the ECG, HRV will also be recorded, right? So this software will help you in analysis of ECG as well as for the HRV as well. After that, there is a blood pressure measurement. So for blood pressure measurement, we have two techniques. One is invasive and one is a non-invasive. If I give the reference of Copbayla, so Copbayla was earlier using the invasive technique for monitoring the blood pressures. Now they have upgraded to the non-invasive technique, so that they can there is no need to sacrificing the animals. More number of studies can be done on the same animal. So likewise, they are switched to the non-invasive technique now. So this was a blood pressure measurement for the invasive. Now the non-invasive. So non-invasive technique, it helps you for the measurement of systolic pressure, diastolic pressure, mean pressure, tail temperature, tail blood volume, tail blood flow. So this system, a single system, will allow you to record this multiple parameters from a single hardware. So this is a small video which show you how to record the non-invasive blood pressure, which will help you to understand how this non-invasive blood pressure has been taken from the rodent and how easy to get the data. So this is a small video for explaining you the concept as well as the hardware connectivity, how the hardware is connected and how the hardware is recording the blood pressure from the rodents.
The ML125 NIBP system performs non-invasive blood pressure measurements on mice and rats using specialized tail cuffs. The system provides a good estimate of actual systolic pressure, whereas diastolic pressure can be derived in lab chart, but is a less reliable measurement. The two main components of this system are the NIBP controller and a tail cuff for either mice or rats. This training video demonstrates the correct use of this equipment and includes a live demonstration of non-invasive blood pressure.
So basically, they are telling you about the controller, the NIBP controller required, a power lab is required, and a lab chart. And according to the different size of the animal, we use a different restrainers. So restrainers, and it is very mandatory to train your animal before you do the actual recording. So if you want to do actual recording on the subject, you need to be train your animal so that they can be comfortable in the restrainer and the data to become accurate, because we are not anesthetizing animal in this. The animal is not anesthetized. The animal is restrained into the chamber. So that's why it is very important that the rodent should be very comfortable, so that the data which we want to get it from the rodent should be accurate. So they will tell you how to train the animal as well as to record in the restrainer.
Recording from a rat. Before performing blood pressure measurements, the subject animal must be introduced into an appropriately sized restrainer. In this instance, the rat weighs 210 grams, and we are using the rodent restrainer for rats weighing 180 to 320 grams. Once the rat has been introduced into the restrainer, the length of the restrainer can be adjusted to comfortably restrain the animal. A towel is placed over the restrainer to help calm the animal, and a lamp is placed close by to keep the animal warm. The tail cuff is slid over the subject's tail along the tail cuff holder until it rests closely to the tail end of the restrainer. The tail is also placed securely within the pulse transducer. Once secured, ensure that the pulse transducer is not in contact with the tail cuff, as vibrations from the cuff may affect the pulse signal.
So basically, if you can see what they did till now is they have restrained the animal. They have put a cloth or towel over the restrainer so that it will not distract the rodent, or it will make more easy for the rodent to adapt the environment. And using the tail cuff method, they have put in the transducers on the tail. They are heated the tail by using a lamp or something. So they are making it tail is heated, and after that they have connected the pulse transducers as well as the pressure transducer. The pressure transducer will inflate, and with the help of the pulse transducer, we were able to record the blood pressure.
It is recommended that the subject is allowed to acclimatize to its new surroundings for at least 30 minutes prior to acquiring any data. Connect the I2C output of the Power Lab to the I2C input of the NIBP controller. With BNC cables, connect the pulse signal output on the back of the NIBP controller to one of the analog inputs on the front of the Power Lab, and connect the pressure signal output on the back of the NIBP controller to another of the analog inputs on the Power Lab. Connect the pulse transducer to the pulse input connector on the front of the NIBP controller, and connect the pressure cuff to the cuff connection. Select the appropriate pulse range on the front of the NIBP controller. The maximum cuff inflation pressure can also be selected on the rear panel. In LabChart, set up two channels, one for the pulse signal and the other for pressure. You may also like to use cyclic measurements in the third channel to calculate heart rate from the pulse signal. The pulse channel range should be set to 50 millivolts, and the pressure channel range should be set to 1 volt. Units conversion should be applied to give 0 volts equal to 0 millimeters of mercury and 1 volt equal to 300 millimeters of mercury. Push the start-stop button on the front of the NIBP controller to begin a measurement cycle. The pump should start and the tail cuff should inflate. Observe that the pressure waveform climbs up to the preset maximum cuff pressure. The pulse signal should start to decrease as the cuff starts to occlude the blood flow. When the maximum cuff pressure is reached, the pump will stop and the pressure will begin to drop slowly . As the pressure drops, the pulse signal will start to increase again. Consult the associated example data file and PDF document for a step-by-step guide to estimating actual systolic pressure and the derivation of diastolic pressure from data recorded in LabChart with the NIBP system.
So here you have seen that how they have recorded the NIBP signal from the rodents. So they have followed this procedure, and they have trained the animal. They have trained the animal before restraining it. They are giving a proper time to settle down, and then they are recording the signal. So by using this lab chart as the Power Lab system, they can easily record the NIBP system, NIBP parameters. So what is the benefit of non-invasive? That they don't have to sacrifice the animals. So definitely, that is the one of the biggest point, or the biggest help, which help them for the recording the NIBP signal. After that NIBP, there is another system which is a pressure volume system. So if you want to record the pressure as well as the volume from the rodents, so you can use this pressure volume system. So this is on the gold standard technique catheters, which help us to record the pressure volume from a single catheter at the tip catheters, small tip catheters. So these tip catheters, at the tip, we have both the pressure as well as the volume catheters, which allow you to record the pressure volume from the rodents. And after that, there are the different analysis from this micro tip pressure volume. Like you can, when you have recorded the pressure volume, so there is some analysis which can easily be done by using the lab chart software. So these are the different key parameters which can be derived by using the pressure volume systems. And with the application you can use for the systolic and diastolic dysfunction, for the pulmonary hypertension, cardiac hypertrophy, cardiac failure, and there are the different applications where this pressure volume systems can be used. After this pressure volume, there is another system known as a blood flow measurement. If you want to record or to see the blood flow, so again, for the blood flow, we have two different techniques. One is an LDF laser Doppler technique, and one is the transonic technique. Where in the laser Doppler technique, you have to place the probe over the skull or maybe to the skin of the rodent, so that you can see how much blood is flowing from the rodents. And if you want to see exactly how a liter per minute or a liter per second, milliliter per second, the flow of blood, you need to use a transonic blood flow meter for know the exact value. This is again an invasive technique. LDF is kind of a non-invasive technique, but yes, using a transonic, it became an invasive technique for the blood flow measurement. And this is again a gold standard techniques used for measurement of the blood flow. Then with this blood flow, we have a Langenjoff as well as a working apparatus. So if you want to work for the Langenjoff at your application or for the Langenjoff, so you can use a Langenjoff as well as our working heart system. So similarly, if you can see, if you are noting the pattern of the equipments, so main hardware as Power Lab is same. We are just adding the different accessories on the different applications and the different products. So there are the Power Lab is the same and the lab chart is the same. The only difference is the different accessories for the different application, the different hardwares. So this is for the Langendorf as well as for the working heart systems. Next, if we talk about, this is an organ bath system. So what is this organ bath system is, if you want to work on the tissue studies, so we have a multi-chamber system as we have a single chamber system. So if you want to do the isolated tissue study, so then organ bath is the solution for you. And what is the benefit of our organ bath? Because if you are from a background where you have used a chymograph or normal organ bath, not the automated one, so in that the data is not recorded, right? So by using a digital form, the data will be stored, the data will be recorded, and you can have an analysis module for the drug module, which will give a curve. Like it will give you the curve of the change in the pattern of the tissue. So it will give you the curve for that. So dose response, we call it a dose response module, which will help you to see the changes in the pattern of the signals or the changes in the pattern of the curves while you are putting the different drugs. So it will help you for that drug studies. Then next is a telemetry study. A telemetry study is a study where you want to make your rodent freely moving. Either how we do the studies, we do by using the anesthesia. We give the anesthesia to the subject, or what we do uh, restrain the animal, right? So only two techniques we were using to do our experiments. But after the telemetry, what is there, that the rodent is freely moving. What we do, we implant the sensors inside the body of the rodents, and then after that, the subject is freely moving into his cage, and we are recording the different parameters, physiological parameters, or the blood pressures, or the tissue oxygen. So we are recording by using the telemetry. In this telemetry technique, the subject is free from the anesthesia, or from the restrainer. Subject is freely moving in its cage, or maybe wherever you want to allow the subject to move. And with that movement, you can simply record the different physiological parameters by using the telemetry systems. So this is a brief idea which I have given you on the presentation part, that this is our type of equipments. And before going to this, we would love to talk on the single application, like currently what I've given the brief idea of the different equipment. So might be some people are interested in the telemetry study, some people might be interested in organ bar, some might be interested in NIBP system. So we can definitely talk on the different applications on the later part. So this is my contact details. If you can see on screen, Muktesh.Sharma @ADInstruments.com is my email ID. You can drop me an email ID. We can definitely talk on the email. We can definitely talk on the email, as well as we can talk on mobile phone. I have mentioned my mobile phone as well. So if you have any query regarding to this, you can simply write an email to me. Either it can be for the LT, if people find it LT an interesting platform and it can be useful for them, so they want to explore the LT platform, definitely they can contact me through my email ID. If they are interested in any of the product, I think this video is also streamed on YouTube. So it is also streamed on YouTube. So if you want to go back and check on YouTube, and if you find some interesting product which will be helpful for your research and teaching, you can definitely inquire us for that. So right now, do you have any questions before I move for some demonstration? I'm opening the chat box. Okay, so the software name is, I am talking about the software is the LabChart software for research. For research, it is known as a LabChart software. And for the teaching, which we have shown, in which you can do editing and all, that is an LT platform. So is it any other question you can put on the chat box, so that I can take those questions, or should I move to the software demonstration part? Please feel free to ask any question related to the presentation. If you have clicked any item or any terminology you are interested in, you can definitely ask me on the chat box. So, okay, fine. So we don't have any more questions on the chat box. So what I'll do, I'll just directly move to the software part. I'll just So I've opened the software, which is known as a LabChart software. So this is our software known as LabChart software. So what it will do, it will simply okay. So what will it do? It will simply scan the devices, whatever the device is connected. It will scan and it will check um, that this device is connected. So I have not connected yet any devices because I'm going to show you some recorded data. So I just simply click OK. So what is this? This is basically LabChat software, and this is the welcome center. Right, this is the welcome center of the LabChat software, where we have already recorded. So we have some recorded files or demonstration files which are available, or whatever you have recorded, it is also available over here. So I'll just take one analysis for the ECG. If I go on ECG, I click on ECG demonstration. So basically what ECG currently I'm going to show you is the ECG from the rabbit. So this is the rabbit data which we have all recorded. So this is the ECG data. So if I go on ECG, so simply what we did, we just simply connected needle electrodes, and we have connected to the bioamplifier, and we have connected negative, positive, as well as the ground, and we have recorded. So we simply did the ECG recording. But now by help of our LabChat software, what ECG analysis, what we can do, we can go on setting an ECG analysis. We select a channel on ECG analysis, channel number 1. This is a whole channel, right? If I want to analyze the whole channel, the preset is rabbit. As I told you, we have taken the data from the rabbit. I click OK. I go on ECG. If I go on table view, so this is the all the values to be recorded, to be generated while doing the ECG, that the heart rate, the PR interval, P duration, QRS interval, QT duration, QTC, JT duration. So all this duration will be calculated by software itself. So what you did, you simply recorded the ECG. You just simply recorded the ECG, and the software have done the analysis for you. They have generated the values from the waveform which you have recorded. Obviously, it has not given you the result. Obviously, it has not given you the result. They had just this is not given you the result, but they had given you the values for your reference. Now you can simply analyze it and give the result, what the result has came out of it. So right, so they have extracted all the values which is required for giving the for your research work, or to give some prediction, or to tell us that is it a normal ECG or an abnormal ECG. So all can be done on the same. So this is basically the ECG demonstration which we have done. This is a 3D representation of your ECG. Whatever ECG you have recorded, it is a 3D dimensional representation. So if you are publishing some data, definitely this 3D representation of data will help you to present your data. And by checking the 3D representation, you can see the pattern of your ECG. And after this is some ECG averaging. So they have done the averaging from the ECG. After that, this is for the some analysis plot. These are the analysis plot for the QT time plot, RT, RR plot. So these are the different time plots which can also be calculated. So if you have done the ECG, if you want to do the HRV, that is an heart rate variability. So you can simply do the heart rate variability also from the same channel. I'll just extract the report. I'll just extract the report out of it. So you get the data in all the forms. If you see, this is the HRV report is generated. So you will get the data in the time domain as well as in the frequency domain. So likewise, this is in ECG data, which can be easily, you have just recorded the raw signal of ECG and rest analysis is done by the software. Like if I talk about from ECG, we can do the ECG analysis. So all the intervals, heart rate has been extracted. If you want to do the HRV, heart rate variability on the rodents, it can be done for the human rodents, small animals. You want to do, it can simply be done, right? So this is basically about the software, the lab chart software. So lab chart software give you the accessibility to do the filtering option. If you want to apply some filters to your signal, if you want to do the different analysis, you want to do algorithms, you want to do the calculations, so you can do the calculation. If you want to apply some arithmetic, if you have some arithmetic formula for some, like if you have some formula that this signal is there and this signal is there, I want to apply some mathematical formulas to calculate, maybe subtract this signal from this signal. So that can also be done by using the lab chart software. So that is the flexibility of the lab chart software. So this is the basic demonstration of our software. Again, we have a blood pressure modules. We have a ECG module, we have a HRV module, we have a metabolic module, we have a video capture option where you can simply record the video. There is a pressure volume setup. There is a pressure volume, like if you are doing the pressure volume, the analysis has been done. If you're working on spirometry, definitely the software will do the spirometry. Spike histogram, if your signal have a different spikes, so we can do the spike histogram. So this is a very vast area to we will discuss because we have a time constraint today. So we are not discussing on depth. And if someone is interested to talk on the particularly topic, so definitely we can arrange a demonstration or some representative will contact them and make their queries answered. So this is basically about our lab chart software. So yeah. So is it any other questions from my end during my presentation? If you find any questions from my presentation or from anything, you can definitely ask.
Participants, if you have any queries, then please write in the chat box, please. Okay, then thank you so much, sir, for this very informative session. Now I will request Dr. A.S. Kushwaha, sir, for vote of thanks.
I'm very thankful to you, sir, for delivering a very informative and knowledgeable sessions about LTE platform for the cloud-based teaching and various instrumentation part with live demonstrations like invasive, non-invasive techniques, wireless telemetry, cardiovascular, organ bath, leg and drop, and pressure volume system also. Definitely this sessions is useful for the researcher and academician also. I once again thank you, sir, for delivering very informative and knowledgeable sessions. Thank you very much, sir. Now I would like to present your certificate on the behalf of organizing committee. The soft copy of certificate shortly sent by the email and hard copy sent by the mail also. Once again, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. So I have already shared my details with you. So if anyone has the query, they can directly contact us. And thank you again, Kushwaha sir, for inviting me for representing ADInstruments and telling the advantage of the ADInstruments over the latest techniques which are present in the market. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajay sir. Now the second day afternoon session is completed. I would request all the participants, please join us for the tomorrow session, and the tomorrow session's link will be sent by the email and by the WhatsApp group. Till then, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Now the third session link of feedback shortly provided by the email or WhatsApp. Please respond this. And fourth session tomorrow starts sharply 10 o'clock. Please join at time. Have a nice day. Thank you very much once again.